Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. Today, I'm going to show you how to crochet this cute summer mesh bag. I think it's perfect for carrying a little book around, or I've seen people put like oranges in them if they go to the farmer's market or something, so it's just cute for all kinds of summer things. My sunscreen would also fit in here, so for the beach. Yeah, book and sunscreen, what more do you need? Yeah, let's jump right into the tutorial. Okay, so first, all of the supplies that you will need. I am using this cheap yarn that I got at Walmart, and you can find it a lot of different places. I'm using a 5.5mm hook, which is what this yarn calls for. These are my little snippers, but you can just use scissors or whatever you have, and a darning needle to sew the sides together. But if you don't have one, you can also use your hook, and I can tell you how to do that. So let's get started. We're going to start with a chain, and you're going to want to chain in multiples of 4. So depending on how big you want your bag to make, just make sure it's in multiples of 4. And I'll show y'all how to start your starting chain. You're going to start with a slip knot. So pull that yarn through, place that on your hook, and tighten it. And then to chain, you're just going to yarn over and pull through that loop. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think I'm gonna do 26. I meant to say 36. I think I might have said 26, but okay, so 36. Okay, so once you have your starting chain and it's in multiples of 4, you're gonna chain an extra 10. So you can either hold on to this so that you remember where you started the 10, or you can just count it back again. So chain another 10. 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so I've chained 10, and I'm going to do a double crochet in the 10th chain from my hook. So to do a double crochet, you're going to yarn over, and let's find that 10th chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right here. I'm going to insert my hook into the chain. I'm going to yarn over, pull through my chain, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through the next 2 loops on my hook. And so this is our first little loop. So now chain 3, so 1, 2, 3, and we're going to skip the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and into the 4th one, we're going to do another double crochet. So remember, yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull through the chain, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the second 2 loops. And we're going to do this all the way down our chain. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip 3 stitches, 2, 3, and the 4th one, do a double crochet all the way down the chain. All right, and I'm on my last one. I'm gonna do the same thing. 2, 3, double crochet into that last stitch. And if you've counted correctly, it should line up perfectly to your final stitch in the chain. Sorry, struggling. Double crochet. Okay, so that's our first row. So now you're gonna chain 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and turn your work. And so this is our turning stitch kind of thing. And then you're going to do a double crochet into the first loop. The first loop being the first like hole that you've chained. So just kind of in there, do your double crochet. And then chain 3 like before. 1, 2, 3. Do a double crochet into the next loop. And then 1, 2, 3, double crochet into the next loop. And you're going to do this all the way down for your second row. And on the last one, just double crochet into that last one. And that's your second row. And so now you're just going to repeat that row over and over again until you have it as big as you want. So you're going to chain 6 at the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Turn your work and double crochet into the hole. Chain 3, double crochet into the hole until you have as many rows as you want, depending on how big you want your bag to be. Keeping in mind you're going to fold this panel in on itself to make the 2 sides of the bag, so it's going to be long, or pretty long. So I'll meet y'all back when I'm done with this panel, and I'll tell y'all how many rows I do for the size bag that I want. So I ended up doing a total of 21 rows, and you can do however many you want, but now you're just going to fold it over basically to make the body of your bag. What we're going to do is stitch the sides together. So on this side, I am going to cut my yarn, but I'm going to leave a long tail so I can use that to sew it together. Cut a long tail, and I'm going to make a little knot at the end by pulling the yarn through this loop. Make sure your stitches stay lined up and those holes all stay lined up as you stitch your bag together. So you can either use a darning needle or your crochet hook. So you can slip stitch each stitch with a crochet hook, which if you don't know how to do a slip stitch, I can show you that right now. A slip stitch is done by making a slip knot, putting it on your hook. You're going to insert your hook in the stitches that you want to connect. These aren't necessarily the ones I want to connect, but this is just for me to show you because I'm going to stitch mine with the needle. And you're going to yarn over and pull through every loop on your hook. And that's a slip stitch. But that's not how I'm doing it, but you can if you don't have a darning needle and don't want to go out and buy one. So I'm going to use my darning needle. And the stitch I'm going to use is one that I can never remember the name of, but I'll show you and maybe you'll know. So find your first stitch towards the top and put your yarn or your needle through, and then do the same thing on the other side. Find your very first stitch and put your needle through, and you're just going to go through all of it, and you're just going to do this all the way down and stitch down the side of your bag. And then once you've stitched all the way down, you're just going to kind of weave this end back into your bag. So just kind of work your way back in. I don't have a particular method for this, just kind of slowly weaving it back towards the middle. And once you've gotten it a pretty good distance into the middle, snip it, and then I like to use a smaller crochet hook to weave this final end in. It's just easier for me when it's a shorter thread to just use my hook and really weave it in there. Okay, and you're also going to weave this end in. I like to do this with my smaller hook as well. Now we're going to do the same thing on this side, and to attach my yarn, I like to use my hook. So make a slip knot, place it on your hook, and you're going to want to make sure you start on the same stitch. So I think the third one will be good. 1, 2, 3, there's our third stitch. And then find the third stitch on the other side. 1, 2, 3. Insert your hook into that stitch and connect them with a slip stitch. So yarn over, pull through all those loops. And now your yarn is connected. So you can snip it, leaving a long tail to sew with. And again, I'm gonna pull it through my loop to make like a knot, so it's very secure. And now I'm gonna place it on my darning needle, and I'm gonna stitch it exactly like I did before on the other side. And once you have stitched this whole side as well, you're gonna do the same thing and weave your end back in. And then you'll just weave this end in as well. And now we're gonna make the handle. So to do the handle, I'm gonna make a slip knot, excuse me. Place it on your hook and tighten it. And then you're gonna insert your hook into the side where you want your handle to start. It doesn't have to be super specific for this, and connect it with a slip stitch. And now you're going to chain the length you want your handle to be. It doesn't have to be a specific number or multiple of anything, just however long you want your handle to be. So I ended up chaining 70 for mine. Yours can be whatever you want it to be. So to make our handle thicker, we're going to do single crochets back down this chain. So you're going to chain one and then insert your hook into the second chain from your hook now. Yarn over, pull through the chain, and then yarn over, pull through these two loops, and that's a single crochet. And you're going to do single crochets all the way down your chain. And when you get to the end, I like to slip stitch into the bag itself just to make sure it's super secured. So just find somewhere in the bag to slip stitch it to, and you can snip it off, leave an end to weave in, make a knot, and then you're going to weave these ends in. But I'm going to show you now how you're going to attach your handle to the other side. I'm going to use my hook to do this, so make a slip knot once again and place it on your hook and tighten. And then make sure it's not all twisted and line it up to where you want to attach it. And you're going to go through the very bottom of your handle. Doesn't have to be super precise. And then the side of your bag. And I want to make sure it's going through 2 loops at least for extra security. Okay, and you're going to do a slip stitch. And then I'm going to do one more slip stitch further into the bag just to make sure it's super secure. And it's attached over here. We can leave a tail to weave in, make a knot, and all that's left to do is weave in these ends. And that's it. I'm gonna turn mine inside out because I like the way that looks to have all my stitches on the inside. And that's it. Congratulations, you just made your own little summer mesh bag. Look how cute. If you haven't already, feel free to hit the subscribe button below to get more crochet tutorials and just crochet content in general. I upload at least once a week, sometimes twice. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and crocheting your own little bag, and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.